On this last episode of Fox 54's mini-series, Haunted Huntsville, we take things to the Lowry House. The Lowry House was placed on the National Register of Historic Places by the Department of Interior on October 29th back in 2001. Besides being historic, there's evidence that this place is haunted too. And I'll say it, out of all of the places I had to go for this series, I felt the most energy here. And I'm what some call a skeptic. So let's take a look at the historic and haunted Lowry House.
Well, the Lowry House really is a hidden gem here in Huntsville. A lot of people don't know a lot about it, but it is magnificent. It was built around 1840s, and the Lowrys did own the house. Dr. John Lowry and his family raised a family here. It has significance because of the Civil War. The house was actually used to hide people who were enslaved. So it was part of the Underground Railroad. There is a hidden room in the house upstairs.
And that hidden room that was once part of the Underground Railroad still carries the energy of all who have passed through all those years ago.
So on one of our tours, we did have a group upstairs in the railroad room, and they were asking questions, and there is I guess a rack that has hangers on it, and during the investigation, the hangers flew off the rack, and there were a lot of people that were a little freaked out about it, of course, but so that type of evidence is really great if we can capture that when we're on our tours. That way it's solid proof and people see it for their own eyes, right? So,
speaking of energy that lingers on, according to the Southern Ghost Girls, the spirit of Ann Lowry is one of the strongest and most consistent energies they feel.
Unfortunately, there was a tragedy. Miss Ann Lowry, who did live here,
was actually killed here in the doorway, along with her servant Missy at the time.
She was killed by the Union soldiers.
She was trying to protect everyone, and she ran out, and soldiers killed her.
Which we do feel that she definitely still haunts this house.
Hyde has come into contact with the spirit of Ann Lowry herself.
I personally have experienced it, and so has another person that's on our tours. We were looking, the kitchen right over here has a lot of activity. I had one tour guide in this room, and I was in this room. I looked into the kitchen and I saw a shadow of a woman. It was an outline of a woman in a dress walk by. I immediately walked in here because I was pretty shocked. And all of a sudden my tour guide right here said, "Stop. There is somebody beside you." She was seeing a shadow person beside me of a woman.
This historic building seems to be home to some of the Lowrys, even in the afterlife. But even beyond that, the Lowry House seems to be a portal for many paranormal entities.
We have sometimes, soldiers come through, children come through. There may even be spirits that are in the area that come through. But we get pretty good evidence here.